There's a lot of different schools of thought that we kind of classify ourselves as when it comes to the Pokemon trading card game. You can call it a trading card game. You can also call it a collectible card game. You can call it an investable card game. You can call it a sellable card game. There's a lot of different routes that you can kind of take when it comes to entering the hobby, whether it be buying or trading or selling or opening up a store. There's just so many different avenues that all of us can kind of gather together in and share in this equal passion. This week, I've really been focusing on the term collectible, and we talked about that a couple days ago when we went over our Hidden Fates kind of market review over the past year, and we're going to talk about it more today when we review Shining Fates and how that's been doing over the past year. When you start thinking of the term collectible, what kind of comes to mind? What do you start thinking about when it comes to the term collectible? Because when I was starting to kind of dissect that word the other day, I started thinking, okay, collectible is more of something that like you want to hold on to for a while and you hope and think that it's going to retain an increase in value, and something that is going to be impacted by supply and demand because it's popular yet it's rare. It's not something that there's plentiful that is plentiful of. And that's something that we really associate a lot when it comes to Pokemon. However, over the past year, and we're going to look at a stat tomorrow when we talk about the death of Pokemon Bulk, Pokemon has printed a ton of cards, especially when we start thinking about Shining Fates, and Shining Fates entering the market a little bit over a year ago, and there was this huge craze, all these issues going on with the scalper industry, and we're going to look at scalpable products on Sunday and how those have fared for a lot of different people, because Pokemon has done such a great job of making sure that these products have been produced in mass quantities, which has kind of taken the collectible out of a lot of the card games that have been, or a lot of the Pokemon sphere that has been produced over the past year. We're talking about billions of additional cards, which has really came in and kind of destroyed the market. And in some areas, that's good, obviously. Where do you want this to fall when it comes to Pokemon? That's kind of up to you. In some areas, it's good to have plentiful cards that are out there, so that way kids and families can go in and enjoy, build this hobby together, really sharing a passion and kind of enjoy opening cards. But then on the other hand, you also want to kind of cater to collectors and make sure that there are some products that are at least somewhat scarce, so that way it maintains attention from everybody in the hobby. And that's really what I think Pokemon is trying to accomplish. But last year, we had the release of Shining Fates in February of 2021, and everything kind of got turned on its heel, got turned upside down. People were struggling to find product in stores. Shining Fates was being wiped off the shelves. It was being sold at $90 to $100 for an Elite Trainer box that was supposed to MSRP for about $50. Even wholesale distributors were upcharging some of these products so that way they could kind of take advantage of the market. And Pokemon tweeted out that message and said, hey guys, hold on. It's going to be okay. We're going to make sure that more of this becomes available. And look what's happened. We've had multiple reprints of the Shining Fates Pikachu box. We've had multiple reprints of the Shining Fates Elite Trainer box, and there is so much product that is out there that now it is sitting on shelves and sitting at stores because people they've already opened so much of it. The single prices can't get much lower than what they already are, and we're going to look at that today. We just had like another massive reprint of Shining Fates Elite Trainer boxes and Shining Fates Pikachu V boxes a month ago. Absolutely insane the amount of product that they have kind of pumped out. So we're going to look over at Shining Fates, and I wanted to include some product that is still a little scarce, where you can see there actually is some decent movement in the market over the past year. And this is kind of what I'm talking about when Pokemon wants to kind of cater to everybody. They want to make sure they have cards that are good for the competitive player. They want to make sure that they have cards that are easy to obtain for, you know, the casual collector and the kids and the families who want to grow in this hobby together. And they want to make sure that they have in-demand items that are available for the high-end collectors, the risk takers, those people. When we look at Shining Fates as a whole, and we're going to go over a little bit of sealed product right now, for the most part, a lot of this is just completely crashed, but some of it is actually not doing too terribly bad. So if we're going to start out looking here at the Shining Fates mini pin collections, if you remember those pin collections, we have these pretty much come out in every set. So there's 4 different ones, I believe, that come in a case here. So this is a sealed case. If you would have purchased a sealed case of these Shining Fates pin collection boxes, you're looking at a high point of $199.25 2026, which it actually hit in January of 2022. And that's an interesting time frame because that's right when everything else was crashing, right? All the other sealed product was crashing. But for the most part, you can see an upward trajectory when it comes to this specific product, which is very interesting. 164.21 was its low point, which it hit about a year ago, and it's done a good job of climbing ever since then. Now, over the past 6 months or so, it's kind of slowed down. You can see it's kind of tailing off, but for the most part, it's done really, really well. If we look at the Shining Fates mini tins, those also haven't been reprinted an absolute ton like some of these other products. So you do see a little bit of growth, especially over the past 6 months. As you can see, it hit its low point over the past year of 148.10 in December. That's right around the same time as all those other products hit that 1 year low because of the mass production of all of those reprints. At one point, it was at 165.35 at the beginning of June last year, and you can see it's starting to climb back up to that point. It's sitting at 157.70. A little bit of a tailspin over the last few weeks, over the last couple months maybe, but we'll see. It might rebound a little bit as it is somewhat of a unique product because they haven't reprinted it a ton. The Shining Fates Premium Collections, I only put the Crobat one on here. There's also the Dragapult one. These also did not get reprinted as much as what we will see for the other products, but this one right here is selling for $57.65, which is really close to its 1 year high, which is $59.96. It actually hit that in February, March of 2022. Its low point of $46.24, which is only about $7 above retail, is where it was sitting about a year ago. It's done a good job of appreciating over the past year. You can see it's about $20 above MSRP pricing right now for a product that you're probably not going to find too much of. Now, a lot of the contents are obviously super cheap, but this is something that's going to tailor more towards sealed collectors rather than somebody who might want to open this product up because it hasn't been reprinted nearly as much as what we see for some of these other products like the Elite Trainer Box, which has been reprinted 847 times. At least it feels that way. If we look at the Elite Trainer Box, it actually did really good kind of rebounding from the massive print schedule that it had for its first year. As you can see, in February, it was all the way up to almost $80 for an Elite Trainer Box before they announced, hey, this is going to get printed again. And the Shining Fates ETB is something that a lot of people, I think, held on to. When we start talking about those people who were kind of hoarding product in their closet or in a storage shed because they were like, hey, we're going to sell this, we're going to pop these out, we're going to make double MSRP off of them, we're going to buy as many as we can for $50 and then sell them at $100. They kind of saw February, March as like, okay, it's kind of getting there. It's sitting at about $80 right now. Give it a couple months and it'll be at $100 a piece, and then we'll be able to double our money in a year. And then all of a sudden Pokemon's like, nope, we're going to reprint a ton of these, a metric ton. And then people kind of got sick of it and they were like, you know what, I'm just going to sell these, cut my losses, sell them for $50 a piece. I don't care anymore. This is taking way too long, and Pokemon is proving that they just want to make sure this product is out there, so I'm just going to sell off. And that's kind of where we're at right now, and why you have a market price that is right at MSRP at $50.40. $46.27 is actually below MSRP, and that's where it was a couple weeks ago. So you can still kind of find these in stores and a lot of places online that are selling them, you know, for $45 to $50 a piece because of the massive amount of times that these Shining Fates Elite Trainer Boxes have been reprinted. And I guarantee you there's still a lot of people that are holding on to a ton of these. It's going to take a very, very long time for these to appreciate because of the amount of quantity that has been available. Like when we talk about that word collectible, like we did at the beginning of this video, when you talk about collectible, you talk about rarity, you talk about popularity, you talk about liquidity, you talk about supply and demand, right? So what makes something collectible? If something is popular and something is limited, it's going to be a collectible. When you get something that's not as popular, like Shining Fates is becoming, and something that's not as limited, which Shining Fates has become, then it's a little bit more difficult to qualify it and quantify it as a collectible. So it's going to take a long time for that to appreciate, which is fine. Like I said, a lot of times it's really good to have some product available for a lot of people to enjoy. When we look at the Bolton tin, there was 3 different tins that came out. There was the Cramorant tin, there was the Bolton tin, and then there was some other tin that I can't even remember. These are $43.51 for their high point, which they actually hit in June of last year. So it's been really not moving much over the past year. It hit $37.53 as a low point in September of 2021, then kind of trickled back up to its 1 year high. That's where it's sitting right now at $41.36. If we look at the Shining Fates Pikachu box, same thing. This has been reprinted in massive droves multiple times. It was $36.32 in September of 2021. It's done nothing but crash since then because of the amount of product that has been released out there. It's all the way down to $18.99 $4.98 right now, which is barely above its one-year high, sitting at $18.77. Plenty of these that are still available. If we look at the Shining Fates booster pack, this is the first time you're seeing really a market price of these under $5 a piece. When you start thinking about calculations for MSRP for a booster pack, Shining Fates, they don't really sell booster packs separately, so you think about $5 for a booster pack because there's 10 booster packs in an Elite Trainer box, which costs $50, $5 a piece. $4.89 is where it's kind of sitting right now, or $4.97, which is just barely above its one-year high of 49. So we're below what you would expect MSRP to be for a booster pack of Shining Fates. It was at $7.40 at one point at the end of 2021. Done nothing but go down since then. We're going to look at some singles because it's a very interesting set when it comes to the ultra rare. Baby Shinies run supreme when it comes to Shining Fates because of how much product has been out there. I only pulled one card from the actual Shining Fates set. The rest of them weren't really even worth looking at and talking about because they are so cheap, and that's the Full Art Skyla, which at one point last year was $20.22. It has dipped all the way down to $8.07 a couple weeks ago. Now it's gone back up to about $8.97. Still very, very cheap. Multiple copies of this card available out there because there are so much of this product that has been opened. The Charizard has just been crashing and burning since it originally came out. I remember this card selling for so much money when Shining Fates first was being opened up, and it has done nothing but just crash since then. The pull rates not nearly as bad as what they are now for a lot of people to pull their Chase Ultra Rare. It was at 181.96 in June of 2021. And you can see it's just done nothing but go down. It's sitting at a one-year low of 107.15. You can find this card easily for under $100 if you look in a lot of different areas. Very, very surprising. The next card that is the cheapest in the set when we talk about the Shiny Volt set is Suicune. We've got a lot of baby shinies coming up because those are the cards that are kind of remaining supreme because they are a little bit more difficult to pull because there's so many of them. $34.87 is the high point for this Suicune. You're looking at a low point over the past year of $16.75, which had actually hit just now. It's actually at its one-year low right now, so that one's been doing nothing but really going down. Drizzile is a little bit of an outlier. Same thing with Inteleon because they are so competitive. I guarantee you once competitive rotation hits, these are going to start dropping quite a bit. This card was all the way up to $27.68 in September of 2021. It's $8.58 one-year low is where it hit a year ago, went way up, and now it's been slowly falling ever since then. You can see right now it's sitting at $13.69 for the past year. If we look at the Inteleon card, also a playable card, it hit $15.22 in September of last year. It's sitting at a one-year low right now of $10.53, or very close to its one-year low at $10.53. Again, as rotation gets closer and closer, all those deregulation marks that you see in the bottom left-hand corner are starting to rotate out, so prices are going to start getting impacted because of that. Then we've got Decidueye. $11.78 was its one-year high, which it hit in September of 2021. Crashed down pretty far, went up a little bit, and then crashed down even further, down to $7.71, which is its one-year low. It's trickled up a little bit, but still only sitting at $7.82. If we look at the Coughing, which was a little bit interesting and surprising to me because I wouldn't think Coughing as being like this card that a lot of people are interested in, but it is an OG card. It is from Gen 1. $9.65 is its one-year high. Also was hit in June of 2021. Did nothing but crash since then. In September of 2021, it fell all the way down to $5.34. It's gained a little bit of that back. Currently sitting at $7.15. Still closer to its one-year low than its one-year high. Galarian Ponyta, such a really cool card. Had a really strong start to it when Shining Fates first came out. Done nothing but go down ever since then. It was at $16.69 in June of 2021. You can see it's fallen all the way down to $7.12. So it's lost about $9 of its value over the past year. That's quite a bit. When we look at the Cincino, $10.14. It actually hit its one-year high a little bit later in about October of 2021. Then fell all the way down to $5.58 before gaining a little bit of it back. Still only sitting at $6.53 right now. Not a whole lot of movement over the past year there, or over the past 6 months or so. Then we've got a Grimmsnarl VMAX. So this is the highest Ultra that's not a baby shiny outside of that Charizard VMAX. Grimmsnarl, for some reason, a lot of fan favorites. $9.18 is its one-year high, and it actually has been doing really strong over the past 6 months. It hit its one-year high in December of 2021 when a lot of other cards were kind of sinking, and it's kind of stayed relatively close to that. Again, not a whole lot of movement when it comes to this card. It's $4.82 one-year low. It hit in September of 2021 before gaining that back, but now it's dipped down a little bit where it's sitting right in between its one-year high and one-year low, sitting at $6.44. Same story with the Galarian Rapidash, which is really, really a great looking card. Kind of fell from grace, just like the Galarian giant ponytail. $13.43 was its high, which it hit in June of 2021. Been doing nothing but going down since then, where it's sitting at a one-year low of $6.31. Then I took a break from some of those baby shinies and other cards I wanted to hit on the Eternatus VMAX. Shining Fates was kind of this introduction to these black and gold cards in a set, and it didn't go over very well, unfortunately. $15.51 was its high point that it hit 1 year ago in June of 2021, and you can see it's sitting at a one-year low right now, which is $4.61. We talk about this one-year low. This is probably the set existence low for all of these cards. This set came out in February of 2021, so it's been out for about a year and a half. So the 4 months or so leading up to the 1 year mark that we're kind of referencing, probably not going to see any lower pricing than what we're looking at today. So these cards that are constantly getting opened more and more, we might still see some of these baby shinies go down a little bit more, some of these other cards go down a little bit more. You could have a Charizard VMAX that hits $75. We'll see what happens, but as more of that product gets open, and there's still a lot of Shining Fates product available out there for retail or below MSRP, as more of it gets open, it's just going to keep bringing those prices down, which a lot of people are super excited about, some people not as excited about. But wherever you lie, I hope you guys enjoy the information. Thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video. If you appreciate it, hit that like button down below, leave a comment, because it does go a long way for the algorithm. Most importantly, hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me if you guys did that. I really appreciate all of your guys' comments. All of you guys hitting that subscribe button means the world to me. Until next time, guys, peace.